So instead of doing those online internet things, if I go do a quick 5-minute yoga session, then drink some water and come back, I feel like I get that second wind and I'm ready to get back to that draft. Good morning, gentle viewer. Today is Manuscript Monday, so I'm going to be updating my NaNoWriMo progress. I'm also going to be talking about yoga as a tool for self-care for writers. So thank you for stopping by and I hope you enjoy. Yesterday, I finally did a face mask like I've been telling myself I wanted to for a while now. Now my mom has a very strict skin and face mask regime. So whenever I speak to her, she's always asking me if I'm doing my masks. I prefer the sheet masks. That way things don't get too messy. And plus, while I'm wearing it, I can still put on my glasses and read. So I was doing one yesterday and I picked up one that said brightening. And I thought, oh, that sounds good. But then while wearing it, I was wondering, what does that actually mean? So it's the second to last week of November. And this weekend will be Thanksgiving here in the US. Now for you, gentle viewer, you might have less time for writing, but I'm actually looking forward to getting a large chunk of writing done this weekend, while of course indulging in some serious carbs. At this point in the drafting process, it can feel like I have more of a collection of scenes rather than a cohesive manuscript. So what I did yesterday was took a break from drafting and spent some time organizing those scenes and touching base with my outline so I could see what I have left still to work on. And this helps me in the rough draft to make sure that I hit those key plot points. Another thing I did this week was kind of take stock of where I'm at as far as my goal. Because I started the month with a particular goal in mind. But at that halfway point, I decided to kind of shift my goal to better suit where I'm at right now. That's something I'd like to remember to do in the future is when I have a set writing goal for the month, I'd like to remember to, at the halfway point, stop and think about, well, does that goal need to change? What am I doing that's working? What am I doing that's not working? And how can I let go of the things that aren't working for me? Something else that I tried this week for the first time was downloading the Scrivener app for my phone. I've been using the Mac version for years now, but I've never really played with the mobile apps. So I downloaded the one for my phone and synced it up, and just as kind of an experiment, decided that whenever I have a small snatch of time, go in there and try and just write a few sentences. So I got the chance to do that the other night. I was waiting for something to download and it was taking a minute. And usually while things are downloading, I go and check email, I play on Instagram, just basically killing time until the download is finished. So instead I opened up the app, went to a scene, and just wrote a few sentences trying to hit that scene's emotional beat. And gentle viewer, by the end of the download, I had about 200 words written. And all I needed was my phone. Going forward for the rest of the month, I'd like to take more of those writing snacks, if you will, because I can get into that self-sabotaging perfectionist mindset where I think, oh, if I don't have my outline or laptop, if the moon isn't in the right phase and the planets aren't aligned, I can't possibly have a writing session. But those little snack-sized writing bites can really add up over the course of a week. If I took those writing snacks 5 times during the week, I'd have an additional 1,000 words. And for me, as someone who struggles through the rough draft, that is no small amount. Another thing I tried to focus on this past week was making sure I incorporated some snatches of self-care throughout my day. Like, it's strange to think that you might feel exhausted after a long writing session, but I know for me it can take a very strong mental and physical toll. One of the ways I make sure to do that is to take mini yoga breaks throughout the day. They just get me up out of my chair, they get me moving and stretching. I've talked a little bit about before, but as I'm writing, I tend to like droop more and more over the desk until I'm practically laying on top of the keyboard. So those little yoga sessions, and we're talking less than 10 minutes. Like, I have a bunch of 5-minute, 7-minute ones that I've saved. And those little sessions do so much for my physical and mental care. What I needed was to make sure I find one that focuses on the breath, on grounding your breathing, and on being present in the moment. And you might think, well, don't they all do that? But when I first started doing yoga in college, I had 2 different yoga instructors. And just like with any other relationship, I found that one of them really suited me more than the other. They were both very talented, very experienced, but I just really connected with the way that one of them approached yoga. I would look forward to her class, and of course, since I was looking forward to it and because I felt more of a connection to her, I was more likely to go at all. There is a YouTube channel called Yoga with Adriene, and she has a bunch of small, less than 10-minute sessions. So what I'm trying to do while writing, whenever I feel like I need a break, my instinct is to log on Twitter or check my email or something like that. But after taking those kind of breaks, I don't really feel refreshed. I don't feel rejuvenated. And that's what I want coming out of a break. I want to feel like, okay, I'm re-energized and ready to get back into it. So instead of doing those online internet things, if I go do a quick 5-minute yoga session, then drink some water and come back, I feel like I get that second wind and I'm ready to get back to that draft. Another great thing about using yoga as a break is it helps work out all those little kinks and discomforts. I know for me, when I'm writing for a long time, I get very stiff and sore in my wrists and my elbows and my upper back. And I won't even realize how uncomfortable I am until I try to move or stand up. And those little discomforts can really build up on me throughout the day. Like, I won't even realize it, but suddenly I think, wow, I feel exhausted and tired. And it turns out I'm just really uncomfortable and didn't even notice it. So those yoga sessions really help counteract all those small discomforts that can build up. Yesterday, gentle viewer, I was having a text chat with one of my writing cohort friends, and we were talking about how challenging the past 2 years have been for various reasons. So I think now more than ever, if you're doing NaNoWriMo, if you're going through some challenging times, make sure you pile on that self-care. And self-care looks different for everybody, so find what rejuvenates you. I have a strong maternal instinct. So nowadays, whenever I talk with one of my friends, I ask them, are you doing some extra self-care? Like, what's your self-care plan for the week? And how did you treat yourself today? Sometimes it's easier to remind others to do it and then forget to do it for myself. So yoga is one of those small ways I make sure I take care of myself. Some people just do it for NaNoWriMo for November, and that's fine. But for me, I want writing to be a part of my life, and I am in it for the long game. So as I go on, I want to remember to keep those health checks, both mental and physical. And having those things in place not only safeguards me, it also safeguards my writing, because the better I feel, the better my health, the more I can throw myself into my writing. The last time I went to visit my parents, my mom and I had a long debate about her eyebrows, so turns out for once she was wrong. She was definitely using the wrong color. Once we found a better color for her, it really helped resolve some of the tension between us. I feel like I talk about my eyebrows a lot on my channel. Eventually I'm going to become known as that girl who talks about writing and eyebrows. It's not a terrible niche, like I could work with that. Okay, going in with the Maybelline Colossal Volume Express Waterproof Mascara. I get my glasses on here, and today I have some new lip products. I'm gonna try the Maybelline New York Superstay Matte Ink, and this is in Lover. I'm going to be traveling soon, and I was thinking I wanted to try a long-lasting lip color, so we'll see how these work. I have a friend who used to do makeup professionally, and she says the Sephora brand long-lasting liquid lipstick stays on really well. Like, my friend ran a full marathon wearing one of their lipsticks, and she said it stayed put. So we'll see how this one does. Okay, I think this is as good as it's gonna get for today. Thank you for spending some time with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope your manuscripts are growing well. Leave me a comment and let me know how your NaNoWriMo projects are going, and if you have any recommendations for future videos. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!